I do this with clients all the time because I'll say, listen, if you want Y result, you have to do X. At the end of the day, sometimes you might have your partner doing something that you don't necessarily believe is what's best for them, and you want them to make their own choices.
This is turning your entire body towards someone. You are making them their primary focus, and you know when someone's actively listening, not just when they're nodding, but when they're actually taking a moment to ingest what you're saying and then respond thoughtfully.
Conscious couples, business partners, and individuals, welcome to the Conscious Couples podcast, where we share our life, love story, and relationship expertise to help you consistently cultivate the most magnificent relationship possible.
Never again will you feel hopeless and alone in your intimate relationship challenges. We'll help you have the courage to be your authentic self, communicate effectively, and constructively resolve conflict.
Having accumulated thousands of hours coaching, speaking, podcasting, and hosting live events with conscious couples all over the world, Alan and I are here to guide you in all things relationships.
Thank you again for tuning into the one place where it's not about you or me, it's about the we. Conscious couples and individuals, what's happening? It's Alan here. I just wanted to jump in here real quick and let you know that this is a two-part episode. So this is part 2, and if you have not yet listened to part 1, please go back and do that now. So episode 182 is part 1. Episode 183 right now that you're about to jump into is part 2. I want to make sure that you listen to both parts because this is an episode that Emilia and I recorded. It took a full hour, and our listeners are used to 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes even 15. So we broke it into 2 episodes. It's very important that you listen to both. The link to the digital asset of the 25 conscious love languages is going to be in the show notes of both episodes. Make sure you download that and do that with your intimate partner. And if you're single, do that with yourself because obviously that awareness is going to be brought into your next relationship. Thank you so much. As always, enjoy this episode, and it's not about you or me. It's about the we. Holidays. Holidays is a love language.
We have a couple of that, actually. One of them adores the whole holidays, Christmas, like favorite thing in the whole wide world. Mm-hmm. So holidays is a love language because of the fact that what we'll notice and probably mention in this, there's a lot of love languages that are stacked. So you have the food, you have the quality time, maybe you have the gift giving, all that stuff. But holidays as a love language. Holidays is a
conscious love language stew if you do it right.
Right.
And that can be terrible if you do it wrong.
Absolutely. A lot of time, energy, and money can be oriented around this love language. And if partners are not on the same page, it can really rip things apart. Mm-hmm. So like this one client, she loved Christmas and everything. Like I'm talking not just like the month of December was consumed by this. Like
from Halloween on is just even before
time of the year. She's getting gifts in like February because she's planning for December. So it's like a partner might see that and be like, wait a second, like why you have this in the back closet, like just all those things.
Okay, so holidays, and have you had the conversation with your partner about the holidays? Emilia and I are both red on that one. We don't care, and so that's very good. But again, the goal of this is to check in. Where does your partner have a green and you have a red? Or where do you have a green and they have a red? Those are called mismatches. You're missing each other. Yeah. And that's where the points of contention are in your relationship. All right, so almost done here. We've got a few more to crank through. Philanthropy/volunteering. I'm really grateful this one's on there.
Me too.
You and I do Books for Babes together. We do the Next Level Hope Foundation together. And those nights were really interesting. During COVID, we delivered boxes to teachers for kids at 2 a.m. And I told Emilia, I said, I think we're going to get shot. But it was COVID, so you had no other way to do it, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, philanthropy and volunteering for a cause. I just defined it.
You did.
Do you have anything you want to share about it?
No.
We're good. Cranking. Fun, unique experiences/adventures.
One of my favorite. So fun, unique experiences/adventures. Usually you might have heard us speak in the Conscious Couples podcast a little bit about how much I love spontaneous. No, it's not a growth on your elbow. It is an adventure. So it's an experience that's usually not planned. There's some degree of spontaneity or spontaneity.
Spontanitis is a playful way to acknowledge that you love spontaneity.
Yeah, but specifically to the fun, unique, adventurous experiences. So an example of this would be like, I'll never forget it was my birthday. You had come into our bedroom. I think I had just woken up, and you had this whole list of things that like I adore and I love, and we hadn't made any plans.
Yeah,
And
I didn't tell you about this.
You didn't tell me.
Was that our anniversary or birthday?
Might have been
something?
anniversary.
I think it was probably anniversary.
I'll never forget. Not sure.
Yeah, no.
But it was
you remember the memory.
so meaningful.
Yeah. You remember the we call it a core mem. Core memory. Even if you don't remember the day or the date, you still remember the day.
Yes.
The experience.
The experience.
I had 12 things mapped out. It was an overachiever. We only got through 8, I think.
Yeah.
It was egg sandwiches. We're going to go to the bookstore. We're going to get Qdoba, obviously. I'm going to buy her a book.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a little coffee or chai tea or something like that. Yeah, so really special. And I remember this. I actually pulled up the trailer for the Remarkable. If you ever see Emilia on YouTube using her Remarkable, she has 2 of them. One of them is the one that I got her actually on our anniversary. And I pulled up the trailer and she was, this is unbelievable. Holy crap, I've been waiting for this for so long. Yeah. I said, it's already ordered. So it was really cool.
It was amazing.
All right, so fun, unique experiences / adventures. Home improvements / projects. Oh my God.
Can you tell how little we actually care about this?
So this is your father's
us,
love language.
Yeah,
he said that he loves projects together.
Project deficit disorder, we call it.
Yeah.
Playfully, and there's
So we did this studio ourselves. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It came out really nice.
But home improvements, literally any home improvement projects, any project, fixing the decks, fixing this, doing that, installing this, installing that.
Painting the garage.
DIY shit.
Yeah.
And Alan and I are just not cut out for that.
Not a
could
fan.
care less. We literally have like a
Huge
you could
list.
punch a hole in our wall, and we would rather walk by that for 5 years than ever fix it.
We are in the market for a handyman or handy woman. FYI,
but there are people
if you're in Massachusetts.
But there are people that love doing home improvement, DIY, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is different for everybody. Yep. All right, we're gonna keep cranking here. So empathy and vulnerability.
2 emotions. And for a lot of people, having both of those emotions present in a relationship, it opens up their soul.
I have an example. I used to have an in-person studio with my business partner, Kevin, and Emilia came to visit, and we would spend time there. We would work there. We did relationship talks coaching there, actually. Mm-hmm. And Emilia was carrying her laptop down, and they hadn't sprinkled the salt on the stairs, and Emilia slipped. And this is the only time, fortunately, in my relationship with Emilia where I was super, super concerned for her safety. She fell, and she fell hard. Yeah. And my heart was just so vulnerable, and there was so much empathy. Yeah. And I think that that's just a really tangible example. Again, we're using us as examples because we're speaking from our own experience, but we want you thinking of you. We want you thinking of you and your partner and your relationship. So I hope you felt empathy and vulnerability.
I did. And I want to piece apart for a lot of people because those are 2 emotions that a lot of people struggle with. So they might be like, what's the difference? Empathy is usually where people reach for validation. So empathy is, I see how hurt you are. That really sucks. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Mm-hmm. Right? That's that validation component. You and I were talking about that this morning, right? Having empathy with someone is you really seeing how much pain they're in and being there in that pain with them and loving them and just holding that space with safety.
The metaphor Brené Brown uses is sympathy is saying, hey, I see you in this hole. Empathy is I'm going to jump in the hole with you and experience it with you, and then we're going to climb out together. Is that
and
true?
Climbing out together is compassion, right? Because you're taking empathy and then turning it into action. And
all right, vulnerability.
That was sympathy, empathy, and compassion. But vulnerability, in contrast, is exposing yourself at the sake and at the risk of belonging.
Yeah.
And something that's really meaningful for you and willing to do it anyways because of the love that you 2 share.
Yeah, Emilia and I were in the quarries, and I had this moment of, I don't like how close she is to the edge. And made me realize how viscerally important you are to me. If anything were to happen to you, it would be like
Such a vulnerable spot.
oh my goodness. Yeah. So, but I'm too strong for that shit. So, I'm kidding. I'm joking. All right. That's what men do. Don't do that. Learning together. This is one of our favorites.
We love that.
Yes.
Literally, you could flip a book on. You could flip a YouTube lesson on. You could have anything that is educational and is helping you learn, develop, in any way, grow, right? So literally, you and I have been in the car together listening to books. You and I will start and do mobility.
What is a good decision?
On our projector, we'll have an effective speaking course, and you and I will talk about it.
We've stopped doing that.
I know, and I feel it.
You do? Okay. Nice job.
You and I will read different books and then exchange.
Yeah.
Flowers for Algernon, so many things.
Wonderful book. So she mentions the projector, 115 inches of pure movie theater.
It's bliss.
Unbelievable. When we first bought this home, Emilia said that's going to end up being it's this sidewall. I couldn't imagine it. Unbelievable.
I had a vision.
Life-changing. You had the vision.
The ambiance.
Best home theater I've ever experienced in my entire life. Unfucking believable.
It's a theater, it's ambiance, it's educational, and there's so many more possibilities.
So first thing in the morning, we throw on YouTube. We bought a YouTube effective communication course from TED Ed. Awesome. Yeah, so we gotta crank that again. Soldier boy. All right, supporting personal choices.
Cute.
Supporting personal choices. We do have to go, so let's crank through these. Thank you for hanging with us. Supporting personal choices.
Okay, so this is if I decided that I wanted to get a tattoo. If I wanted to get a tattoo, right? All of a sudden, Alan has to literally go through, do I support her choices? If it's meaningful for her, and that's important for her, I'm going to support her, even though I know where he stands on that. He probably would not want me to impact my body in that way.
Correct.
But
if you have to,
yeah,
and that's what's aligned for you,
he wants to support my choices.
I have to honor your free will to make your own choices.
Exactly.
And if it's a picture of me, that's great.
If it's on my butt cheek.
Yeah, if it's a picture of me.
I love that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Fun.
Yeah, it's those little things that your partner might not do that on their own accord, or they might not want you to do that, but they support it anyways.
I am 1000% joking, by the way. And at the end of the day, I do appreciate that example because I've told Emilia, we both are tattooless, and that's not anything against you. If you have tattoos, that is your body. You do what you want. And at the end of the day, sometimes you might have your partner doing something that you don't necessarily believe is what's best for them, and you want them to make their own choices, and they honor. I do this with clients all the time because I'll say, listen, if you want Y result, you have to do X. Mathematically, the science of achievement, it doesn't care.
Yeah.
And if you choose, I'll give you an example. So I have one client who had a terrible partner, toxic, crab in the bucket. I said, if you want this goal that you've told me you want, I personally, as your coach, do not see any possibility that you can achieve your dreams with this person. She is the fucking worst. But I honor you if you decide to be with her anyway. And I will honor your choice. I'm telling you what I believe to be true, and I still honor your choices. Right. And I think that's a really good example.
Yeah, so supporting personal choice and sharing the impact and what you think, feel, believe.
Yeah, because supporting one's personal choices doesn't mean you keep your opinions and your beliefs to yourself.
Right.
It means you honor your partner's free will and their autonomy.
Yes.
While also having your own.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really, it makes sense
easy.
why people struggle with this stuff. I mean, it's not easy. Okay, so health and fitness. Yes.
Go in on it, babe.
Oh, the best. I want to slap old Alan right in the face. Some of the people that I was with,
same.
It was never going to work. Health and fitness is 10 out of 10 for me. It's green as it gets. Emilia and I are very grateful to have exercised every single day together for 1,248 days as of today. We have a whiteboard at the bottom of our stairs that I update every single day. 1,248 days in a row of exercise. Now, sometimes that's swimming, sometimes it's biking, most of the time it's weight training or walking the dog. But intentional movement every day
It's the best thing.
You have helped me achieve one of my dreams, sweetheart.
Same.
Oh,
We got out of the car from the gym today and we were like, best therapy ever.
of all time. We are immediately fulfilled.
Less fulfilled without exercise.
Can't not
or
weight
without
train.
the gym.
Weight training is
Yeah.
life-changing. Okay, so anyways, 2 guesses where we stand on that one. Health and fitness is that. Do you take care of the asset? I have never met a human being who cares more about taking care of her physical health than Emilia Smith. She has brought foods into my life that I never would have done. And honestly, I had really high health and fitness standards already. So thank you it's been tremendous. Usually my past partners were like, nah, I don't really care. Okay, building dreams together, another big one. Go ahead.
Basically, you have a vision, you have a goal, you have something that you're aspiring to do, but you don't want to do it alone. I have a client in mind right now. She bought a house and she's like, the vision was never to do this alone, never to buy a house, to build a property, to make it all beautiful, and to do it alone. So building her dreams together with her partner is so fulfilling. And without him co-creating that dream or co-building, it's just not as meaningful.
I actually saw recently she posted on her story the backyard with the fountain and everything. Coming out good. Shout out to you. And her partner reached out to me earlier today thanking me and Kev for an episode we did too. So shout out to both of you. We're rooting for you.
Bonnie here. I just wanted to share my experience with group coaching and some of the things that I got out of it. So going into group coaching, I was not tracking any habits at all. And I had sort of jumped on board habit tracking here and there, knowing it was a good idea, but not sort of ever succeeding with it. And so now some of them have become habits. I'm happy to say I wake up, I have a glass of water without even thinking about it anymore. So now I think it's probably time to gear up and increase my water intake or change the water one a little bit, something like that. And so I highly encourage people to jump into group coaching. There's so much information that you will get out of it. I recommend bringing a notebook to all of the sessions and taking lots of notes, asking lots of questions, and rewatching the videos, because it is the video coaching part is just packed with information. I also really recommend that you check in with your accountability buddy and sort of lift each other up throughout the experience, because there's lots of momentum, it's really exciting, and then it gets hard. And so stick with it and carry on, and your life will be better for it. Okay, take care.
All right, money. Money is a love language. That shmoney, honey. So go ahead.
I want to go back and forth on this.
Okay.
Prefer.
Finance, money, capital, whatever you label it, people say money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy food. I'm kidding.
And it does buy choices.
Yeah, it buys choices. Let's have a real conversation. I was being playful with that, but ultimately, you have time, effort, and money in this life. Those are your only 3 human resources. And we don't trade pigs for cattle anymore. We trade money for goods and services. And so money does buy choices. And choices can bring fulfillment if you make good ones. So talk to your partner about money. Does it matter to them? Because I have someone I'm thinking of, I'll keep it anonymous, who their partner doesn't care about money. And I said, brother, talk to her about what money connects to. She cares about family. She wants to have
She wants to go traveling.
She wants to have land. She wants
to
travel. She wants to potentially adopt. She wants to have goats and chickens.
Right.
And all that costs what?
Of course.
Money. So you might not care about money, but you definitely care about something that connects to it. So get your money stuff in order. And at the Conscious Couples podcast, sorry, babe. At the Conscious Couples podcast, we help people get their money right.
For sure.
We have 2 clients. I kid you not. They went from, and they wouldn't mind me sharing this, they went from, shout out to you too, I don't even know how much I make per hour, with me going, whoa, brother, whoa, to they both have been increasing their income drastically. They've bought a house, they've gotten engaged, and not 3 weeks after we went through a money analysis on a relationship talks coaching session, 3 weeks later, they met up with a financial advisor. And not only did the financial advisor realize they didn't need them at all, but the financial advisor actually offered them a job. So this person came back to me, the man in the relationship, shout out to you. He said, Alan, we went from I didn't know anything about money to I got offered a financial services job. And I thought I was going to be a blue collar worker the rest of my life. So whatever you're doing, unbelievable. So
Cute.
Shout out to you two. You guys are crushing.
And what I will share is that most people have way more money wounds and care so much more about money than they'll ever admit to themselves.
100%.
So I'm glad that you mentioned of what it connects to, because everyone wants time, freedom, this, but whatever.
Yeah.
But they don't want to put in the effort. Like, that's going to be an issue in the relationship if you don't acknowledge what that's going to cost, quite frankly.
This beautiful studio cost money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money, actually, more than I would like.
Yeah.
Okay. And we were going to have someone install it for us, and their quote, no, we're going to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
All right, lifestyle preferences. This one's the big one. I notice this in conflict all the time. Our last couple that we coached this past Thursday. The woman in the relationship, and I quote anonymously, what in the actual fuck with the toothbrush and the seat? Yeah,
The tooth bubble. You left the toothpaste bubbles on my toothbrush.
yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah, you parked in my parking spot. It was hilarious. The guy in the relationship was like, that park at thing's valid.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
that's
a
on
bad
me.
day.
It was a bad day. Yeah.
What's
So
my best moment?
toothbrush, lights on or off. You guys get it. Parking spot, you name it.
Everyone comes with their own lifestyle preferences of how they live and how they set up their life. And that's in the routines on the day-to-day and those little actions where you put your toothbrush, how you position your toilet paper, all those little tiny things, how you do your dishes. Like, those things come in when you start living together.
You didn't want me to put the wooden stuff into the dishwasher.
Yeah.
And that's what you learned growing up. And growing up, I didn't care. So we do that now. But we had to have a conversation about it, right? And so at the end of the day, have those conversations. Lifestyle preferences, that is the biggest point of contention that I see in relationships when they live together.
And it's so small, but it's like one of those things that just eats at you, and then it blows things up so much bigger out of proportion than they need to be.
100%.
So
100%. And the male-female thing there, a whole nine.
And it becomes this like, I need to be right about my lifestyle preference is better than yours. I find that in couples all the time.
I do too.
It's so unnecessary.
Nonsensical.
People like end up starting to hate their partners over some of the smallest little things. And
Yeah.
they could just have a conversation of like, wait a second, this was like indoctrinated by my grandfather's grandfather. Do we really need to have this here?
100%.
What rationality in this context, in this century, does this actually have? And how important is this to you? Like, those conversations go so far.
Unbelievable. All right, wrapping up here, 2 more. Active listening.
Active listening is a skill set that most people really don't know how to do. This is turning your entire body towards someone. You are making them their primary focus. And you know when someone's actively listening, not just when they're nodding, but when they're actually taking a moment to ingest what you're saying and then respond thoughtfully. People struggle to just hear what their partner is saying, and they're so focused on preparing on what they're going to say next. And everyone is really good at doing that.
The couple we coached on Thursday, shout out to them again, I felt like that was so important for them each to just have space to just express. And I could tell they hadn't been doing that in that way enough. And that's not just for them. I mean, most couples are that way. Okay, conscious parenting / caregiving. This is interesting. So Emilia is unbelievable with our pets. And again, we don't have any children yet. But when we do, I know that's going to be tremendous as well. So the way that you care for your pets and for your children and how much you pour into their growth and development. So I would screw up, and this is just an example. I'm not comparing the pets to children thing. Get off that, everybody, seriously. Like, if I get another goddamn message, I'm joking. All right, here's the thing. I was fucking up their training.
Oh, yeah.
All right, take it easy. I'm joking. All right, so Emilia has Tucker, Tiger Lily, and Tauriel. Unbelievably well trained. They're amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I...
It's you that I got to train.
Yeah, for 100%. You got to train me on how to train them. Real talk. It is what it is. So at the end of the day, conscious parenting and caregiving, you guys all know, okay? Imagine you have children and you bring them to your in-laws' place or your grandma and their grandma and grandpa, so your parents' place. I remember when I was growing up, I would go to Foxwoods with my grandma and grandpa. And I remember when I got home, my mom would be so annoyed at who the hell taught you that? All of a sudden I'm putting ketchup on my eggs. And my mom would be like, who taught you to put ketchup on your eggs? And
you didn't put ketchup on your eggs before?
I thought it was awesome.
Wow.
But my mom didn't want me to for whatever reason.
Interesting.
I have to talk to her about it.
I'm
kidding. Yeah.
I'm curious.
Seriously, ketchup on eggs is great.
And if you have a toast with peanut butter 100%. And then put the eggs with the ketchup,
it's
delicious.
Yeah, all right. We're going to go back to lifestyle preferences on that one. I knew you were fucking with me. All right. Real talk, though. Conscious parenting and caregiving is so important. Mm-hmm. If you are such a conscious mom already with the pets, I already know intuitively you're going to be such a tremendous mother. And that is 100% one of the reasons why I knew you were the one.
Oh. Yeah. As same with you, because one of the things that you are so conscious and attuned and aware and rational when it comes to things. So like, for example, I know that you had a really horrible experience growing up where your little bird got stepped on by someone in your family and it killed the bird. And so you're hyper conscious about even just the foot movements and running in our house because you would never want an animal to get impacted by that. Now, again, I know that animals are not anywhere close to children.
Yeah, but it's the same concept. It's a similar concept.
It's about the inputs from the person and how much do they actually care. Like, how deeply do you care about becoming a conscious parent? And the becoming part, it never ends. There's a never end point to that. So are you actively learning and co-creating a conscious parenting relationship? There's someone you and I know that was a former RTC client. They are really great conscious
100%.
Co-parents now.
For sure.
And that is something that is so important to them.
And we know one of your clients at Evolve who has a partner who is not conscious parenting.
Not at all.
It's destroying the child in some ways.
Yeah.
And again, not destroying the child, destroying the child's chances, lowering the chances of that child being a successful contributing member to society.
Yeah.
I have a past partner I'm thinking of. I'll keep it anonymous. She was going to be a terrible mother. And I remember thinking, you are too selfish to be a mom.
Oh.
You're like a selfish, self-centered person. And I don't want to have kids with you.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, and you've had that in the past where you were with a man and you're like, I could never have kids with you.
And I look around at other people and I recognize there are children having children and they're so selfish because it's all about them.
It's brutal.
And they're about to welcome a child where literally it's not even a choice.
So we both can think of people in the past that we've been with, that we've dated and been intimate with, where we said, I could never have a child with you.
No way.
For me, that was a make or break. And that was one of the reasons actually why I ended up with you, is I had the courage. That was the sticking point of I could never have a child with you. And I know I want to be a father because I didn't have a father growing up. And my stepdad left at 14. So I can't do this. I have to go. I can't do this because I could never be a co-parent with you because you're so spoiled and self-centered. Yeah. Okay. That is the 25 conscious love languages. That was the longest episode we've ever done to date. And it's important because that is by far the most important content we've ever co-created.
Right.
Maybe ever in all of what we've created at Next Level University, Evolve Ventures, and the Conscious Couples Podcast. Is there anything you want to leave us with?
It addresses a lot. And what I'll leave us with, and again, if you might even be a client of ours, and we encourage you to listen to this episode and go through the activity, like, again, the definitions are what we've learned over time. And so where there is conflict, that's actually a really good thing that we've unearthed that. And that's why this activity sheet is here, because we usually have this belief that conflict is bad in a relationship. It's just not true.
Yeah.
Like, great, extraordinary relationships have conflict and actually see conflict as such a blessing or such a opportunity to grow and to understand each other. So this, wherever there is conflict or you guys are missing each other, this is exactly where your roadmap ahead lies. And I find that so exciting because otherwise, if you didn't do this, this would go underneath the surface. Resentment, all the 4 horsemen would start to build. And so the contempt, the resentment, the stonewalling, all of that would end up being a byproduct because all this stuff just gets swept underneath the surface.
And for reference, the Four Horsemen's an episode we did in the past. We did a relationship talks event on it. It's based on John Gottman's work. He could predict people that get divorced within a 10-year period after watching them on camera for 30 seconds. It's awesome. If you're curious about any of that, let us know, and we will send you the episode that is for. Emilia is going to be taking this digital asset and updating it to green, yellow, red to make it simple. It shouldn't take you and your partner more than 20 minutes together. And okay, also, if you want relationship talks coaching, conflict is inevitable. How you handle conflict will make or break your relationship. Let Emilia and I help you. We have a hybrid model where I coach the man, she coaches the woman. We both coach both. It's unfreaking believable, and it's not just going to help you flourish in your relationship. It's also going to help you build your goals and dreams together, just like the couple we told you about. Bought a house, got engaged, got raises. One of them's the GM of a pet store. It's unbelievable what can happen. So also we have a Relationship Talks virtual event coming up.
Yes, Relationship Talks virtual event. It's going to be, now we're in August here, so it's going to be August 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a Wednesday, okay? And usually we have them on Thursday. How to align your partners on the most important thing. So you and your partner need to align on the most important thing. So Alan and I are going to be talking about, realigning with your partner on the most important things. And this is our 50th event. And so what we will be talking about is essentially, out of all the 50 events that we've done, Alan and I are going to go back to the principles of what is going to drive you two together and continue to have you on the same page. So I do believe we're going back on the GPS on that,
yes,
which is how to align the core values, core aspirations, and core beliefs. And that, I'm telling you.
Yes, you're going to grow apart if you don't have alignment with those. Download the digital asset in the show notes. Do that with your partner. Do not leave it to chance. And reach out to Emilia or myself if you have any questions. Our social media is in the show notes. Instagram DM is the best place to reach me. I don't know what is for you.
Instagram and then email.
Instagram and email. Okay, so Instagram DM is good for both of us. That will be actually us that responds to you. Okay? Thank you all so much. We appreciate it. As always, it's not about you or me. It's about the we. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Conscious Couples podcast. We love connecting with the Conscious Couples community, so please check the show notes to connect with us and say hello on social media.
If you and your partner resonated with this episode, please leave us a 5-star review at the link in the show notes and share this with someone you love. Until next time, it's not about you or me, it's about the we. We'll talk to you next time.